All right, do your 1, 2, 3 thing.
God damn it. I'm gonna keep letting it roll.
Two.
Roll. Fuck you.
One.
Damn it. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's good.
Marcus.
Is there good? All right, guys. Jesus Christ.
Let's start us off as 1, because you're the host.
1,
2,
3. Finally!
right, guys.
go for it.
All right, guys. After some technical difficulties, welcome everyone to the Insert Here podcast. I'm your host for the day, Carlos. I was gonna do this last week, but there was just a bit of a problem with that.
What are you talking about?
Supersized problem named Manchego, of course. Yep. Not gonna recap
You mean that nice fellow
that's...
that met me in the bathroom?
Does anything in that sentence sound all right to you? Like,
Nope.
He had
No.
free rags that smelled like chloroform.
I'm sorry, he what?
oh no. All right, so
It's my favorite
I was
scent.
missing for a few weeks. Last week was my punishment for that, apparently. Moving on. Well, I'm back. Guys, this week we're going to be tackling a recently relevant topic among us, which is travel, right? Because I went traveling and then I got punished for it, because of course I did.
Huh.
First things first, though, let's hear from my co-host for the day. Men who held it down while I was out and still kept the machine going. Let's hear from the boys. Today I'm here with...
Hi.
Marcus, you're number 2, and I confirmed him 3. How can we still mess this up?
We just went over this.
I was 2 for the sinking, not for the introduction. We didn't go over this.
We're going to go forward with your 2 for the sinking and for the intro. If you were number 2
thinking?
that day, you are 2 for the intro as well. Go.
But I don't want to be number 2.
I'm here with... You...
Hi.
I'm here with my guy, Dylan.
Hey, what up, guys?
And
I'm
no
Mr.
one
BP.
else today. I'm here with my guy, Dylan.
Hi, everybody. You may know me from Little Nightmares gameplay and Hollow Knight gameplay.
Yep.
This podcast.
I was going to say, and, every other episode of this podcast.
Yeah, you might... Anyone might know me as the guy on all the other episodes that introduces
This is the
himself.
fucking menace that gives us fucking bald spots, okay? This is the one that stresses us out. Fuck you, Marcus.
I stress you out on camera. Off camera, you two fuckers drive me insane.
Okay, to be fair, though, it's like one time we stress you out, and you still stress us out 80% of the time.
Bullshit.
80%. It's an 80-20 relationship. It's very bad.
It's a solid 50-50. Because anytime I try to get any of this shit together, you're like, nah, bro, I'm not going to do that, though.
Okay, that's a reference to just doing the podcast, the show, and everything.
No,
I'm talking about
it's
just
with
life
fucking...
as friends.
No, y'all are fucking...
As friends, I've been friends with Marcus for 6 years now.
You're not a good person. Don't even start.
What do you mean?
None of us are good people. Don't even try to high road me. We're all fucking assholes.
I've acknowledged I'm a nice guy.
Fuck you.
Nice guy, terrible person. That is my handle on everything. All right, that's.
I will use the example of that AI portrait software. I'm 50-50 between becoming an awful dictator or rebellion leader. Okay, there's no in between.
I'm gonna take the one where I became Green Lantern. I'm gonna take that one and run with it.
Heard that.
Oh, okay. I still didn't try it on my tablet. I need to. I want to see what mine come out as.
Yeah,
I feel like they're gonna give you like some Darth Sidious shit.
Yeah, mine were all awesome, and some of them had me listening to music, so that's kind of perfect. Just had some headphones on and jamming out, so I was like, that's perfect. All right.
That's just you. Fair enough.
Yep, just like
What are we talking about today, buddy?
Exactly, just like I was jamming out on the plane when I traveled back home to Chicago for Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Wow.
Mental round of applause for that transition. Let's get it. All right, so
Go fuck yourself.
yeah. So basically I'll start us off. So I did end up traveling back home, like I said.
You didn't say what the topic was.
I did. I said it was travel stories,
Oh
and then
my
I
God.
transitioned into. I did. I said it's travel stories, and then I transitioned into, and I'm here with my boys who held it down, and then you fucked it all up again, like you just
I
did
said
30
hello.
seconds ago. Yeah, bro. Travel stories.
Yep. So work.
So work. So we got on the plane. It was a fun time. And now here's Marcus. Got on the plane. I had a good time. Saw family I haven't seen in a minute. And now here's Marcus's story.
So I took a trip to Los Pollos with my Hispanic brethren and Wario, and also Natsuki from Doki Doki Literature Club. With is that Samuel L. Jackson and a dog that looks exactly like him?
Is that Juan Carlos Esposito?
Yeah.
Above him
Surprise,
is a photo
motherfucker.
of an anime character with Juan Carlos Esposito. Oh my god, that's great. And Wario, sorry.
Aw. I like
Okay.
the little Poochie.
Yeah,
Dude.
guys. So I was planning to go to Chicago for several months, and then wanted to go visit my sister and my grandma.
You buff.
So and then
What'd your sister do
stop
then?
putting shit in the chat.
You got me captivated, man.
I don't know.
At the edge of my seat.
This is going to be an unhinged podcast, guys.
This is what happens when you leave for 2 weeks. The structure leaves. I'm used to doing this for 3 weeks, all right? I've got nothing else.
Shut up!
No.
Look, man, I'm just here. I don't.
I would like to announce my immediate resignation from the Insert Here podcast.
I did it. I'm not the first to quit.
We're just. I appreciate your time, guys. Thank you for listening. You will be missed.
Bye.
Marcus will not be.
Yep.
I like how I was not mentioned that at all. I'm just a neutral force. Goodbye.
We love Dylan out here. All right, guys. Later.
Yeah.
All right,
We
goodbye, girls.
appreciate the thick bitches.
So,
All right. Now the real podcast can start.
so-
You just left the Discord.
yep. So I'm your host today. It is I, Mr. Beefy, Ultimate Beefy, and I'm accompanied by my boy.
What's up, everybody? That's not how I talk.
Yeah.
I was stuck in like 2002
Yeah, I was
YouTuber
like,
mode. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of. Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
And well,
yeah.
let's just go right on topic. So travel stories, Marcus.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's talk about travel stories.
Yeah, man. So did you go on any cool, like, interesting trips? Any stories you want to tell the podcast?
I mean, I have a lot of stories I could tell. There's not really any funny ones, but I have a lot of stories I could tell. I've been quite a few places.
Okay.
Did you want me to start off?
Yeah. Also, I feel like Carlos is generally just God.
Which is fine. It was gonna happen eventually. Anyway, so I wonder which trip should I talk about first. We could start with like
How about we start with the most recent one, the gun show we went to?
that's really, I'm gonna save that for you. That's a good story for you.
Okay.
I'd say the most recent vacation I had was years ago. I haven't been on a good vacation in a while.
Yeah.
It was back when it was like in my last year of high school.
Okay.
We went over to California because we used to travel a lot, and I checked out. We went to, I forget what it is, but the area around Lake Tahoe. And it was really nice. We found this nice, like 2-3 story, like cabin-y looking place. All the really houses. All the houses were very beautiful. Everything's in the woods. Very different from Florida, where everything is swamp. Everything where we were in California was forest. So we kind of just hiked every day. It was a nice change of pace. Because even when it was really hot in California, the heat there is dry. So you can just kind of survive being used to the damp cloth that it is walking through Florida in the summertime.
Yeah, like where the fabric kind of sticks to your leg almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck that. Carlos has joined the Discord, but he has not realized that he's muted, so he's just kind of hanging out here listening to us, I guess.
Well, I feel like he didn't want to really interrupt your story, so I feel like once you're done with your little bit, we can transition to Carlos' story, because I know his travel back home is going to be a pretty interesting one.
If he's still recording, which hopefully he is, but odds are he's not, because he's Carlos.
Oh, of course I didn't. Of course I didn't keep going.
Yeah, you fucking asshole. Because Carlos doesn't edit these things.
Don't get me wrong. There's a message after I paused it that just said, "Now fuck you, Marcus," and then I can proceed to record.
You talking to me right now has no purpose if you're not recording. So don't talk to me if you're not recording.
I am recording. You're fine.
All right,
great. You'll be fine.
Congratulations.
This went from very chaotic to very aggressive. I just wanted to talk about travel stories.
Mom, Dad, please stop fighting.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm just a baby
I was
skeleton.
talking about the peaceful, serene
it's okay,
hills of California where I hiked every goddamn day and enjoyed nature because it was fucking beautiful.
Help! 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 Please,
But no, seriously, I enjoyed being out in nature for like a solid week. We just kind of explored several different hiking trails. I was excited. I never bought like hiking boots and everything. I got really into it. We all had a nice trip together.
Were these the same boots that you wore your Doctor Strange costume?
No, those were new. These were like actual just hiking shoes.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
The Doctor Strange boots are just like costume boots.
How'd you enjoy hiking?
Yeah, it was really nice. I remember the one thing that sticks out in my mind from that trip was there was a lot of hills that went downwards, like different little inclines where the rocks were all falling apart. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run down this. And we had like walkie-talkies because we didn't all.
That's dope.
Yeah, we didn't all trek at the same pace, so that way we could still talk to each other. And I was like running downhill somewhere, and I was screaming into the microphone, just like "Tally ho!" And then all I heard on the other side was me start screaming, and then sounds of a walkie-talkie crumbling, nearly breaking and rolling on the floor. Followed by, at the end, "Oh, that's not good," in the distance.
And then Manchego suddenly appeared.
And he was like, "Hello, everybody." He's like, "I don't know who Carlos is yet, but fuck that guy."
That's when he manifested. This is his birth story.
Classic Manchego.
Yeah.
Who else but Manchego?
Chego. Cheesy man with wine.
Which
is what I'm drinking.
This.
All right. Well, was there anything else
glass
interesting
of the
about the little hike around Tahoe?
We went rafting one day. My cousin almost knocked himself unconscious on the whitewater rafting, but other than that, it was a normal family vacation.
Okay, Carlos.
Yeah.
So you took a plane over to Chicago.
Yeah, you were gonna meet your sister or something.
Yes. Yeah. So haven't seen my sister in a couple of years, so I decided to. I was initially gonna just buy the ticket for my mom, and eventually my sister called me every day for 2 months straight.
Right.
She did not miss a day. My call log was great. She called me every day for 2 months straight and said, "You got to buy 2 plane tickets to Chicago."
Right.
So I ended up having to do that.
That is the thing that you had.
So by the time.
Yep.
What's your fucking problem?
Nothing. I'm just captivated by this story.
I'm still just trying to see what happened.
Yeah.
So your sister blew up your phone. That was skipping a beat. You bought tickets. So assuming you assume you bought the 2.
So yes.
Yeah.
So as I proceeded to buy the tickets, I don't know if I actually muted him or if he's just muted for me, but he's muted. I can't hear him, so that's fine. Yeah. So I ended up going out there. We didn't tell anyone that in my family that we were going to be out there actually for the week, because last time we went out there, we got stuck in my grandma's house because she hadn't seen us for so long that we ended up staying with her, and we were basically trapped there for a week without access to anyone else in our family. So I didn't get to spend time with my sister or anyone at all, right?
Right.
Aw.
So we basically came up with an elaborate lie, which it wasn't elaborate at first. It was literally, I just said, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to tell everyone that I didn't show up until like the day before Thanksgiving. So that way I have a whole week with my sister and then good to chill. And I'll see everybody at Thanksgiving dinner.
Nah, you didn't lie to
Which
Granny
was a very
Lois,
simple
did you?
lie.
Aw.
And then somehow, one way or another, it got through too many people. Like my mom is not good at lying at all.
Mm-hmm.
So her in her mind, it had to be the most elaborate thing ever. Like, oh, well then we'll tell them I came in this day, you came in this day. I'm like, what? Yeah, and then I'll tell your grandma that, this had to happen because you had to work. And I'm like, you're adding too many details. That happened. So we got there. I spent basically most of the week, like I said, pretty much all the week with my sister. Went to Thanksgiving dinner as planned.
Right.
One night we ended up going to Dave & Buster's to surprise my cousin.
Oh, that's cool.
I saw all of the guy cousins in my family, basically. They're all around my age group. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen them in like 10 years. So that was a great thing to see. And the great thing about it is majority of the dudes in our family are from that part of my family. So I was like, yo, I've been surrounded by nothing but the females in our family for years at Thanksgiving dinner. Because this family, like, we don't typically see them at Thanksgiving dinner either, right?
Yeah,
right.
So it's just an added bonus on top of that, dude. Yeah. So that happens. Let's see.
I can't imagine like. Sorry to cut you off, but I was gonna say I just imagine Carlos going back to Chicago to see his family is just a bunch of other Carloses. It's just,
Yeah,
It's
that's what I was
really
saying.
not,
It's like
though.
Granny
It's
Carlos
really not.
is just Carlos.
there's just a baby
really
Carlos.
not.
It's just a
We're
beefy little baby, just like, what up?
We're just all different shades of Puerto Rican. You'll realize it's. Oh, God. So we're all different shades of Puerto Rican. We're all just sitting here like, oh, that's awesome. So I'm also not the tallest, but I'm not the shortest in my family, so it's so great. Like, yeah.
You're just right.
But overall, man, yeah, it was a great time. Got just so much food out of it. I ate pizza like 3 times while I was out there. I haven't eaten pizza since because I just kind of want to take a break. And honestly, the chain pizza out here is not going to be fulfilling if I'm still thinking about Chicago-style pizza.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're going back home. Your home is Chicago. Chicago is known for pizza.
Yeah.
You have to have a Chicago deep dish while you're there. It's sacrilege to not.
Actually, what's funny, it's sacrilegious because I didn't have deep dish. I had different regular, like, we can get this every day if I live in Chicago type stuff, like neighborhood pizzerias, because there's so many. There's just so many neighborhood spots. And most of the people in Chicago, like, don't just regularly eat deep dish. Like, deep dish is more of a special occasion thing, right? It's an option.
Right.
But typically, we get, like, regular stuff. It's just, like, neighborhood restaurants.
Huh.
Like, here, let's be honest, man. Here in Florida, like, there's so many chains. Like, you won't see a lot of those smaller mom-and-pop shops. Like, there's not as many of those. So, like, the places that do have those, like, neighborhood Mexican spots, love those. Love those. Great tacos at those places. And you'll see so many more of them. Like, Chicago's such a big place. So many restaurants. They're everywhere.
We have a lot of them.
So went to a bunch of those places, and they were pretty much all great. And I was like, man, who needs a Domino's today? No, I don't need Domino's right now. So I haven't had pizza since I came back.
I could say whatever I want right now.
But next time I'll definitely go. I'll make more time for it, and I'll go get some deep dish. Other than that,
tell me more.
What can I say? It was pretty much a chill week. I thought.
Oh, that's nice.
Overall,
kind of like
the thing that was funny was.
Yeah.
It happened back in 2020 for Thanksgiving when I went out there too.
Huh.
We landed. My mom's next to me. And she's like, "Yeah, like we're home." And she's like, "We're home." And I'm like, "Yeah, I live in Florida. I don't know. I don't want to call this home anymore. I think I'm done with that." And then after spending a week there, I've never missed Florida so much, bro.
Really?
This reminds
I
me
was
of the
so
time
shocked
that
at
he
how much I
assembled the
missed
Oreo.
Florida. I was like, wow, this place kind of blows. It reminded me a lot of why I moved,
Yeah.
which
The Goliath dildo
the people are the
incident and
best
all
part
that.
of being there for sure.
That's really surprising because a lot of people who leave their hometowns and go to a place that's like night and day, I would say, because Chicago and Florida are really night and day, and like the weather, climate,
Really night and day.
the air pressure, everything, and most people truly
You
do
actually
miss
have
their
snow.
yeah, like most
Huh.
people actually do truly miss their home and stuff. So it's interesting to hear somebody like, yeah, no, I miss Florida because that is now my new home.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And honestly, I'm gonna unmute Marcus. By the way, I don't know if he's actually is he muted for you?
No, I hear Marcus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard him at all.
Yeah, no, he hasn't really done anything.
That
I'm a good
was a
boy.
pleasant surprise. No, you're not.
I'm
It was
adorably
pleasant though.
annoying.
while it
So
lasted.
you did hear him.
No. It was no. I didn't hear him at all. I just unmuted him because I was like, you know what, my story's pretty much over.
Oh,
we're just
now
let's talk
you
about
mute
it.
me.
No, it's Dylan's turn. I want to hear what you have to say about Dylan's stuff, and I'd like to hear what you have to say about my story now that it's over and you can't.
But I like laughing at random times just to make you nervous, like I'm going to interrupt you again with some bullshit.
I like finishing my story after 2 weeks of not being able to talk because last week was horrible. So that was my solution.
It also has its consequences. Anyway, Dylan, what was your travel story?
Well, my first travel story to get us started. But no, before I go into my story, I do want to say that I'm happy to hear that you got to go see your family again, Carlos. I'm happy that you got to spend time with
thanks,
them,
man.
and it's just glad that you're back safe. That's the main thing. Because
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
I imagine you took plane.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not driving.
Yeah, so unlike my travel story, I almost died. So
I played the
that's
new
debatable.
Pokemon on my travel story.
so I was about 12, and we went up to Michigan.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna talk about the gun show, and I was like, I did not kill you.
No, no, that's a story for later in the cast.
Okay.
So my first travel story I really wanted to talk about was my first time flying ever, and how I'm never flying again.
Oh, okay.
Because you have me 50 shades of fucked up if you're gonna put me in a tube that defies laws of physics, to a degree. So, basically, I went up to Michigan when I was 12 for, I want to say it was when my great grandpa passed away, and he was my great grandpa. He served in World War II. I knew him enough to go up there and see him, and I haven't seen my family up there in a while, so it was just me and my mom. We take the nicest plane up there.
Ooh.
Beautiful trip, nice. My family, from my mom's side, all come from an Amish county, essentially, where it's a small town of modern people of just like 200 population, so it's literally nowhere. And then
wild.
yeah, and then so the closest town, which is like called Three Rivers or Kalamazoo, is a 2-hour drive just to go to a Walmart.
No.
So you're basically better off going to the local general store and grabbing your groceries, or you're more likely to go to the local Amish village and they have fresh produce there.
Ooh.
So in that town, all the food is fresh. It's so good and so tasty.
Yeah, I bet. I'm jealous already.
Yeah, dude, it was so nice up there because, we have like just generic, northerner foods of like, goulash, homemade pastas and stuff, casseroles and all this, tasty
Yeah,
little
it makes
things.
all the difference when it's fresh like that, though.
And it's Michigan, so it's just a little bit more north from where Carlos was at in Chicago. And it's, when I went, it was just leaving winter and entering spring. So it was still chilly water, but it was like nice enough to where the grass was green, everything was good.
Ooh. Yeah.
So, being a Floridian city boy to a degree in comparison to up there, I never went camping yet.
Oh.
So, my family, my mom's side at least, they planned this whole great trip to this little Amish campsite grounds where you can go fishing, and there was like a swing on a rope and you can just jump into this lake, and it was just like a nice camp grounds that you could just have fun in. And then one night I was running through the campgrounds with my cousin, and actually no, before that, I never been on a kayak before or a canoe.
Okay.
My cousin from Oklahoma. Mind you, they have no water. They have like close to no water there. He goes,
it is a landlocked state. Okay.
so he's like, "Hey cousin, you want to ride this like canoe together or kayak, whatever the hell it is?" And I'm like,
Right.
"Yeah, sure. I never been on one of those." So I hop in it with him. We go out 10 feet, and then the canoe goes belly up.
Oh no.
Immediately belly
God.
up.
Oh god.
He did not care about me, so he just left me. I couldn't swim at the time,
Oh shit.
so
Oh,
a panic
no.
set in.
Wait, how old are you again? You said like
I was
12 years
12,
old?
and I haven't learned how to swim yet.
Bro, really?
Yeah, no, I just never.
You know what? In all fairness, that's in large bodies of water. You mean, right? Like a pool.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody can survive.
I could do a
but
pool,
like large bodies.
but this is
of
like the
water.
middle of a lake that's like 10, 15 feet out,
Yeah.
roughly.
Exactly. Large bodies of water are different.
And so it goes belly up, and I immediately go, "Oh no!" And so I grab onto the canoe, and then I pull myself up into it head first. And the canoe did this thing to where like where you sit perfectly had a pocket of air in it.
Right.
So I pull myself up head first into that, and I'm waiting, and I'm like, okay, it feels like it's been too long. So I pop myself out, and I just start like struggling to like float myself back, and then
Is
as
the
I'm
canoe upside down still, or
yeah,
is
it's
he
still
right
it's
side
still completely upside down. I was not
Oh.
strong enough to flip it out over myself.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, those are hard to flip over.
screw that. No one's coming to save me. So why not take matters in my own hand? I took one of the oars and I used it as a flotation device because it was heavy. It was big enough to carry me. And I started kicking myself back to shore. I see my grandmother's ex-boyfriend, who's still a good family friend, mind you.
Right.
He's running across the campsite, ripping off his clothes, running for dear life, going, "I will get you, Dylan!" And I'm like, "I'm good. I'm on the shore already." And he's like,
He's like, I'm David Hasselhoff
that's what he was acting
from
like.
the SpongeBob movie.
And so he gets there, and he's like, "Did I just rip a perfectly good shirt?" I'm like, "Yeah. Sorry." He's like, "Damn it."
It's the fact that he ripped the shirt though. That's what's great about it. Like
He
Hell yeah.
ripped that shirt running towards the river or the lake or whatever, and he's like, "Man, I just ripped that. That was my favorite shirt too." So that happened, and then literally that following night, me and that same cousin are running through the campgrounds, and there's a root sticking up from out of the ground from a tree. Just because the root grew unevenly and stuck itself out. I did not see it, and my foot went perfectly into a hole in the ground that twisted my ankle. But mind you, my foot perfectly got stabbed by the root, and it went underneath the skin in between the muscle of my right foot.
Oh, no.
what?
So I slammed my foot into that because I was running so fast. My foot then fell into this pit, and not pit, but like a little dip in the ground, and I twisted my ankle and just collapsed immediately, and I couldn't feel my foot.
Oh, no.
And then I look, and my foot is like sideways with a branch in it.
Oh, no.
And so I immediately go, "Ow," and then panic sets. So after being, like my entire family that's out there was like, it's okay, calm down. I'm like, I'm gonna lose my foot. My foot, it has a root in it. I'm going to lose my foot. Because I'm 12, panic.
Right.
So I go to the hospital. They question, how the fuck did this happen?
Well,
And-
you see, I was running.
Well, I was like in tears because, I'm a kid. I'm not used to getting impaled by a freaking branch or a root.
You didn't have a good childhood then.
I did not have a good childhood. And they casted me up, and I had to ride a wheelchair and be in a wheelchair for the rest of the trip. I had 4 days left in the vacation that I had to be in a wheelchair. So then I get on the plane. We start flying back. Mind you, this plane
I was going to say, the plane hasn't come into yet. Like, why does he hate the plane?
So
It can only get worse.
the plane that we took back was 3 times smaller than the plane we took to get up there.
Oh, that's good.
Like, I shit you not. It's like an Indiana Jones plane. Like, that's how small it felt.
Okay.
So I wheelchair my ass onto the plane, and my mom gets me like a grilled cheese or something like that because it's gonna be a long flight back and I didn't eat yet. And so plane takes off. We're over the mountains. I forget which one's over on the East Coast, if it's the Appalachians or the whatever these mountains are above us. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, my brain is not awake enough for geography, but I know what you mean.
So yeah, that mountain ridge.
I have no idea what you mean, actually.
Well, there's like two big mountain ranges in America. There's one on the East Coast, West Coast. That doesn't matter. But anyhow, so we're flying, and then the plane starts violently shaking.
Yes, they do that.
Yeah, and I never knew what turbulence was. No one ever told me that. And this is my second time technically flying a plane, because I flowed one there, great experience, and this is my second time flying back. The plane starts violently shaking, and I have that moment like Mr. Krabs at his booth where everything's blurring, and I'm just like looking around. And I look at my mom, and my mom has worry on her face. And I'm like, my adult supervision's afraid. Why should I be calm in this situation? And I start panicking.
Yeah.
Then, next thing you know, the plane starts going down.
Oh, God.
Like, dropping down. Mind you, before this happened, you look outside the window, and you see big-ass mountains underneath you.
Well, I'm sure they're soft, and they'll cushion your landing.
The turbulence happens. The captain's like, just wanted to let you know, we're experiencing minor turbulence, so experience some shaking for the next 30 minutes or so. 5 minutes later, okay, we have lost power to the engines. Please brace yourself.
Oh.
So the plane's dropping down, and I start levitating up because gravity. So, and next you know, the grilled cheese I was trying to eat is floating up as well.
Oh, no.
And everyone's screaming, everyone's freaking out. This is like a plane of 50-50 kids to parents and adults. The flight attendants are panicking for their life. Everyone's like ready to die. And I'm like, man, I lived a good 12 years.
Yep.
And then the plane, somehow, by like the grace of God or whatever, the plane stabilized itself, got power again, and then caught itself.
Yep. They do that.
Yeah, they just do that, you know?
Yeah, no, seriously, it happens all the time. Like, the plane will be struck by lightning, fall like 200 feet out of the air, and then be fine.
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, turbulence, man.
Yeah.
Hits heavy.
Mm-hmm. You ever rode the Tower of Terror? It's
no.
like that.
No. Fuck you. So yeah, we flew back, and the first thing I said when I got off the plane was like, Mom? She's like, yeah, what's up, Dylan? Never put me through that again. She's like, what part? All of it. Just, I never want to go to Michigan again. I never want to fly a plane. I don't want to see that family. I'm done. I like Florida. I like it here. I like the sun. There's less roots sticking out of the ground. Just keep me here, please.
Yeah. Which,
yeah.
I mean, fair.
Since then, I have never rode a plane.
It's very traumatizing for a child, yeah.
Yeah. So that was
I just finished
my
my bottle of wine. Yay. Right as you finish your story. It's a good day.
So, anyone else have any other little travel stories?
Sure. I've been to a few different places. Some of them outside of the U.S. I could talk about... I'll probably combine the two. So, I've been to a few places in Europe. I don't think either of you have been outside of the country.
Nope,
right?
Not yet.
Not yet, no.
All right. Well, I suggest if you ever go, and if you're going to go to Europe, probably I'd say we've talked about this before. Like, I want to go back to Spain or something. For one, when both in like Spain, Germany, Switzerland, like it's very different when you get to the small towns. They have big cities that are like our big cities. You know, a big city is pretty much the same everywhere. There's skyscrapers, lots of people, everyone's rude, and even if they are speaking your language, you don't know what anyone's saying because they're all in a rush and just like, get the fuck out of my way. But it's the smaller towns, like the suburbs. For a lot of places in like Spain and Germany, there's not really suburbs as much. There's like these towns, and everything is like these old brick roads that you can kind of just walk on, and everything, like everyone has their own store, even if it's like a big department store, say like Publix or whatever. There'll be Publix, but then say if Publix is 2 or 3 stories, there's still another 4 or 5 stories above them where people just live there. Like, everything that you see on the bottom is usually some kind of store or restaurant, and people live above everything because there's not as much space to go outwards everywhere, so everybody kind of lives up above. And it makes this really different and pleasing to look at environment where most of the places are owned by individuals. And you'll see all kinds of crazy things. Like, one of the things we always look for the last time we went to Germany is they do this ice cream. What is it called? It's an ice cream. You have to get a certification to be able to sell this kind of ice cream. They basically, those edible arrangements that were a big thing for a while?
Yeah,
like,
there's still edible arrangements around.
Like the fruit baskets?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fruit baskets.
I didn't know they called them edible arrangements.
Yeah.
That's what the place is called. Yeah.
No.
Imagine that mixed with like ice cream, but done even more artistically. And then they have like 50 different places where everyone tries to do their own version with like homemade ice cream, fresh fruit. They make these like sculptures in a glass of ice cream and fruit that's just delicious. It's crazy. What are you doing? What is happening? No.
Continue your story, sir.
I don't approve of this meme.
Delicious treats.
I don't approve of these memes that you send.
It does look like a robot violating a crab from the other angle.
Does it? I don't see the robot.
I do. The robot.
Where?
The bull nose looks like the Discord head.
Where? I don't understand. How do you see the crab with? I don't.
Turn it upside down.
I'm trying. I'm turning my head upside down.
No, turn the phone upside down.
I can't turn the phone upside down. I'm trying to. I don't see it. This is not important.
It's not, but you're the one that stopped your story.
Well, because you sent a... You know how my brain works. I see some pretty shiny picture and I must pay attention to it.
It's because Anakin's in it. Yeah.
It's because the color red. It's my favorite. I know yours is clear.
Anyhow, you're getting the edible arrangements.
But, no, I was just talking about the scenery over there is real different. Because everything is just like a... I don't know. Have you seen pictures?
Of like, what are you asking me?
like a small, like old-timey Europe, the small towns. Have you seen pictures?
Yeah.
So imagine walking through that. It's like a totally different feeling. It feels like, I don't know, if you picked a game like Uncharted or something where you're just kind of like walking through... It's a totally different environment. It feels like someone created it in a game or something. It just feels foreign, but like beautiful to walk through and just be in. You know?
I feel you. Kind of like, you see footage of New York, and then you actually go there and you're like, man, this is either better than I imagined or worse.
Yeah, exactly. And I think some of the stuff I'll always remember is when we went to Spain, though, we didn't get canoes, we got kayaks. And it was also my first time. See, just like you, my first time on a kayak, I remember flipping it over because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. We went like out from the ocean. We all launched from like this beach. And I just remember thinking, oh, that's cool. Their beaches are made of rocks. Ours are made of sand. And then I went, oh no, why can't I see the water? And then I flipped over. Because I'm just not looking where I'm going. And then the water was ice cold, and I was like, ah.
Just freezing.
Yes, it was. And it was still in, like, summertime, too. The water was just so damn cold.
Jesus.
And we were like, there was an instructor, and there's, like, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 15 other kayaks all following him. And then, like, I'm already nervous about this to begin with, and then as we keep going, he's like, oh yeah, don't go too close to the rocks, it'll tear up your boat, and we won't be able to save you, because the tide will rip you right into the rocks, and I'm just like, what?
What, was there any, like, was there any, how am I trying to word this here?
Yeah.
In Germany.
Yeah.
Is it true that they have, like, lederhosen, or is that only, like, a festive thing?
They wear normal
Is that
clothes.
a German thing?
Lederhosen? Yeah.
Is it a German thing?
It is.
I always heard mixed things. Some people said that it's like a only like older, smaller towns have it as like a common attire, and I've heard some that says it's like a festive thing. That's just me being ignorant as fuck. But I
mean,
no.
I mean, at the same time, yeah. I feel like that's most places though. Like most countries have like that cultural thing that you would see like it's more of a historical thing, right? Like,
yeah. When we were in my grandmother's hometown, there was an anniversary of like the giant church there, which that's another thing. The architecture, seeing an old style like Gothic church where it's just massive is insane. Seeing huge buildings like that or something else, like old castles and everything, you have to go and see something like that in person because it's incredible.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, they wear normal clothing. It's just mainly for festive things or like I saw if they were doing an advertisement to clearly be like, oh yeah, this is pure German whatever, then they'll like maybe dress up because marketing or something.
Okay.
Like we rode gondola systems up a mountain they had like they call them Rollbahns, and it's basically a personal roller coaster. You have a single cart that you lay in, and it gives you like a brake, so you put your hands on the brakes, and you're allowed to make yourself go like as fast as you want down the slide. And they have two different versions. One's that's like a straight up bobsled, and then the other one that's like on the newer stuff's all on like a roller coaster track. But the old ones are like a bobsled, so if you go too fast, you will like fly up out of the metal half pipe and just go off down the side of the mountain. Hence why they abandoned that style. But they're still super fun because they're dangerous. That's why it makes them so much more fun, because you can go really, really fast.
I think I've seen footage of them. I think I've seen them. They're like a monorail style system, yeah?
Yeah, different ones. Some, like you're saying, on a track, and then others just in a straight-up bobsled track is what it looks like.
Okay. Yeah, I've been seeing those all over the place on like Instagram and stuff like that. They've been popping up a lot lately. The Appalachians and the Rockies, that's what they're called. The Appalachians are north of us, and the Rockies are out in the west.
Colorado.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought the Appalachian Trail was to the east.
Yeah, I couldn't think of what the fuck it's all called.
I have no idea where the Appalachian Trail is, but I don't know where the Appalachian Mountains are, but I know that the Rockies are in Colorado.
They start in like North Georgia and Alabama, and they go all the way up to Maine.
Yeah. It's because it's something I've thought about a lot. Is like, I wouldn't want to do the whole thing, but I'd like to maybe spend, a day or two on the Appalachian Trail. It just at the same time worries me because there's a lot of accounts of hikers getting mugged and shit.
True.
But
I've always wanted to go hiking in general, so
it's really
that's
fun.
Something when that's something when my brother lived in, I think, El Paso when he was based there. He mentioned that him and his wife went hiking all the time because that's just a great place to do it. Texas is a great place to hike, so they sent pictures and stuff, and like their trail out there, the main trail they went to had like this giant statue of Jesus on the cross. Kind of like how Rio de Janeiro has that giant statue that's a landmark.
Mm-hmm.
So the trail they went to had something similar to that because they're in Texas, so there's a large Hispanic culture to there. So there's just that area specifically too. So that was kind of dope. I was like, you guys see stuff like that all the time? And they're like, there are a lot of trails out here that are like that. Yeah, it's beautiful scenery. So I definitely want to go hiking one of these days.
Yeah. And
we'll make it an episode.
Yeah. It's just kind of like putting yourself on an adventure. Is really what it is.
And it's a calming, like he told me, he's like, dude, a lot of my aggression that I have from work just goes into me getting through this damn hike. And it's great. And it's calming and it's amazing.
Absolutely.
See, my only thing is that I never went hiking. And I know that hiking has an equal chance of not only robberies and burglaries, but random ass creatures just rolling up and trying to attack you. Because it's you and nature. So if we going, I'm having that strap on me, like at all times.
Yeah, same. It's also frowned upon though, for like the Appalachian Trail, but it's not like it's not allowed. It's just because I had a friend where I used to work at, and she's like in her 50s, maybe 60s, and she still goes to the trail by herself days at a time and is fine.
I don't trust
But
that.
yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, I know you say it's fine. I'm still like weird about the whole thing.
It takes one bad trip and experience.
That's all it takes.
To like make it bad for everyone in that situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to go back. I feel like I can't even remember the last time I went to Europe. It was so long ago, because this was before the California trip, which was like towards the end of high school. And I never forget though. The last time we went, we stayed on this like farm. I say it's a farm, right? But these people's house was like 2 stories. Everything was is beautiful, like marble and wood carvings. They had all this really luxurious furniture, and because that's what they do when people are visiting the country. They just kind of
Doctor it
have
up.
they have people stay with them, and they baked like fresh goods for us, and they had homemade jams and stuff. And
Some bougie ass farmers, dude. What the hell?
it was amazing. And I mean, I guess that's modern farming, where you just kind of live it up, you know.
Dude,
But
when I went up to Michigan, my family owns a chicken farm up there. You go to that chicken farm, it's nothing like that. You hear more stories about coyotes and the freaking Mothman than you hear anything about anything else.
no, the only stories there were like how I almost killed my cousin like 3 times.
Way yo.
Man.
So
we went kayaking.
yeah, so
And,
the first time was they had a bunch of old shit that they didn't use in like a section out back. I was like, oh, it straight up looked like a go-kart, but it was a pedal cart. So it was in the shape of like a go-kart, but you would pedal to make it go.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's really cool. Can we like use this? Because I'm still a kid. I don't know, maybe 15. My cousin's 6 years younger than me, so he's very impressionable. And if I'm like, let's go do this, he's like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And on the road out from the farm, there's like a big dip down, like a long hill down, but it goes back upwards, so it makes a big U. So my plan was, all right, we can ride down the steep hill, and it'll be safe. Because, one, we're in a car. Even though it's a pedal car, it's a car, so it's fine. And then we can't go too fast, because then we'll go back up on the other side, and it'll be fine. So this car is like the size of one person fits in it. I fit in it, that's it. I had my cousin sit then, and I was like, okay, why don't you just, like, hang on to the back of it, and this will be so much fun. We'll just go down the hill. And he's like, yeah, let's do that. So I have this small kid on the back of this one-man car, and we start going down the hill, and we pick up a lot of fucking speed. And you don't want to fall off of anything and just roll down an asphalt hill. It's not comfortable. Needless to say, what I didn't take into account is when you start going really fast, the pedals keep spinning and they start hitting you. Ooh. And so they were tossing me back and forth, which I lose control of the cart, which means we both fall off of it and go rolling down this hill and like scraping the shit out of everything. And the cart is just like fucking, it bounces over me luckily and like rolls down the rest of the hill while we just skid to a stop. And we both look at each other like, we didn't die. That's good. Followed by the Peter Griffin meme of just,
because your shins and ankles are probably destroyed and everything from that. Just your whole body.
Yeah. And 5 minutes ago, his mom was like, okay, I don't want you all to do that, though, because it's probably dangerous. I was like, this will be fine. She was right.
Yeah.
She was right. The second time that I almost killed him was probably with the kayaks, because maybe that was a different trip. There was a raft, Because I remember we bought an inflatable raft after the kayaks, where we were like, this will be great. Maybe we could even take it home. And we like had it in the pool. Because we stayed at 2 different places. And the second place we stayed at had a pool. I remember we tried to get into the raft in the pool. And all that happened, I kept telling him to jump into it. And every time he did it, he would slide out and it would, shoot up out of the pool. And he would just land in the water. Well, one of the times when he slid backwards, he like hit his head on the wall underneath the water. Luckily, he didn't get knocked unconscious. I don't know how he's alive.
Marcus, are we related? Because it's like my trip for a little bit, but with some extra steps.
Yeah. But we just decided, yeah, we're having good fun. We're children. We know what we're doing. The third time,
quote unquote, know what you're doing.
Yeah. The third time was we went to a Greek restaurant. We're in Germany and we go to a Greek restaurant.
First mistake.
Yeah.
Oh.
Out behind the restaurant, they have the thing about like when we were walking around this town is they have a lot of elaborate playgrounds for kids.
Okay.
Like they have some cool shit. Some of them had like straight up zip lines that you could ride. As a kid, nothing is cooler than riding a fucking zip line from
that
like one playground
badass.
to another.
Yeah, what?
It
sounds
amazing.
Great. I wouldn't go on one right now.
No.
I'm a bit heavy right now, but I'd go on one like in my peak physical condition. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was awesome, right? So I had never seen a real old-fashioned merry-go-round.
Oh.
Now,
I don't think I have to this day.
Yeah. Out back here,
that's crazy.
They have a straight-up merry-go-round. Here's the difference, though, right? The poles are taller on it. So they're as tall as the kids. So it has like a second pole that goes out through the middle. So basically the idea is you can stand all the way up on it while it spins around.
That does not sound safe. I'm not gonna lie.
That does not, yeah.
Sounds like every kind of hazard you could ask for. But all right, go ahead.
Yeah, so first, my cousin and my sister were both on the merry-go-round. And I'm spinning them around on the merry-go-round. They're having fun. They're laughing. And they're like, faster, faster. I'm like, yeah. And I stopped spinning because I get tired for a second. And I was like, oh, wow. And then my sister gets off. And she's like, well, hey, maybe we could make it go faster if we're both trying to spin it. And we're like, yeah, this is a great idea. So our cousin stays on the merry-go-round. And he's like, all right, give it all you got. And we like whip the shit out of this thing. And it starts like fucking going around. And he's just laughing. He's laughing. And we're laughing at him because he keeps going faster and faster. And it like has this thing where you can just like straight up, there's a rubber band where you can wind it up. And it will just go on its own. And so this shit starts moving. And then we see him like, he fucking jolts backwards against the pole. And he's like holding on for dear life to this pole. And we're like, oh, that's not good. And then the next thing we know, he's fucking vertical sticking out from this device as he's swinging around. He looks like a flag just flapping back and forth as he's swinging around in a fucking circle. I don't know how he didn't fall the fuck off and go like out in another direction, but he held on for dear life. And when it finally slowed down and we somehow didn't kill this kid for the third time, he gets off and he's simultaneously laughing and crying at the same time.
Oh, no.
Because he doesn't know how to process his emotions for his moment. He's just like, that was amazing and terrifying. So he's just like, back and forth for like 5 straight minutes. His mom comes over and is like, what did you all do? And he's like, I was a flag.
I was a flag.
Those merry-go-rounds on the playground are very popular in like places like Russia. And one of these videos, we've all seen like Russian like dash cam footage and stuff like that. Very common, very big on the internet. Well, yeah. I found out there's a subgenre called Russian merry-go-round videos. And it's basically just these Russian guys who sit on the merry-go-round like full-on adults. They sit on it, and then one buddy pulls up with his little scooter.
Oh no.
And just uses the main wheel of the scooter to just start spinning that shit fast as possible, and it gets to the point where the guy just becomes like a flag, like your cousin, and just starts flopping out and gets launched.
So, when we start live action videos, I know what we're doing.
Well, yeah, we're gonna bring on your cousin as a guest, and we're gonna do the 4th attempt.
Jesus.
Unless Marcus dies first.
I was gonna say that sounds like something. Oh.
I'm gonna have to. Every time I cough like that, I have to cut it out.
True.
Sounds like I'm fucking dying.
Because you are.
I mean, I am,
Yep.
but
Carlos.
Well, a bottle of wine a day keeps the whatever the fuck that is away.
Hey, all right. After you fucking criticized me for being a drunk, I haven't drank anything in like 2 weeks,
Good on you.
Well, good.
and then I had a bottle of wine today.
God damn it.
I said it because he mentioned that he just finished a bottle of wine right at the start of this. So, yep.
Yeah.
Well, Carlos, did you have any other travel stories, or was it just the Chicago trip?
No, I've pretty much. I mean, oh yeah, actually, real quick. So I almost died. On my way to.
Let's go.
When I moved down to
Death podcast.
moving down to Florida. So we were driving through Virginia. Not sure which Virginia, whether it was regular.
Almost
Virginia.
heaven. Killing Carlos.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. I almost saw heaven. That's for damn sure. So we were on a mountain, and I don't know how we got. I remember I went to sleep in the back of the car, and my uncle was driving, and I remember I woke up, and we're on a mountain, and I look up, and I'm just, like, oh, okay. Well, I see, and it's just nothing, but, like, it's raining, and it's the middle of the day, and I can see just nothing but the side of the mountain, and I'm like, oh, this is how I die. All right, well, I guess let's wrap this one up. Thanks, Chief. 18 years, and I made it out of Chicago, which is known as, like, murder capital. But all right, cool. Made it out of the murder capital, and I'm going to die in a mountain. This is wonderful. So we end up on this mountain for like 40 minutes,
Right.
And it's raining so heavily that I could barely see anything at this point. And I'm like, oh shit. So my uncle starts to swerve, and I'm like, please stop the car. Please stop the car. He's like, there's someone behind us. I can't stop the car. And I'm like, no. But forward sounds like death. Please stop the car. And we almost swerved off the mountain. And at this point, and this is the greatest moment, I just full on panic scream. So I do the absolute best impression of like 6-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
Just screaming.
Just 6-year-old girl. If you can, yes, 6-year-old girl just screaming at the top of my lungs, and they're like, We're okay.
Right.
He barely makes it back onto the road. Then the dude behind us starts swerving, and his car is actually hanging off the mountain.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, oh, I think I just saw somebody die. And he's like, they're not dead yet. They're hanging off, though. We should probably... on the way. And I'm like, he's...
Oh, shit.
So my aunt's like, so you gotta keep driving. We can't stay on this mountain.
Nope.
Dude, not even 5 minutes later, apparently we weren't even that close. We were pretty damn close to the bottom of it. But, like, we saw some cops and firefighters going up the mountain not too long after that. So I'm pretty sure that car did go over eventually.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. But it's fine, though, because I made it to Florida.
Yeah. No, it's you think that's scary. Fucking some of the roads in Europe's full of fucking mountains. Some of them are like they're as wide as one car, period. Up the mountain. No guardrail.
Jesus Christ.
And what happens is sometimes someone will come down the mountain while you're trying to go up. That means you have to back up, go backwards down the mountain until you come to a turn where they can pass you.
That's ass.
That
It fucking sucks. I remember as a kid being in the car, I'm not. Is
that like a law? Like the dude. Excuse me. Sorry. Does that mean is it like a law? Like whoever's closer to their end of the mountain has to back up?
No, it's whoever's coming.
Like...
People coming down the mountain have the right of way. Is the rule.
At all times, that's fun.
I mean, it makes sense because gravity and stuff. You know, it's easier for someone to.
Yeah.
I'd rather be closer to the ground when I fall than higher up. Yeah, you're right. You're like logically,
Plus,
yeah.
a vehicle going down a hill, it's easier for them to like keep going down than to back up because that's just they're trying to back up a vehicle going up. Versus you could just easily just hit that shit and find a turn. You're good.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah. Sorry, you almost died, Carlos.
Oh, it's. I'm sorry, y'all almost died. You know, I'm sorry. Well,
Carlos experienced the journey.
Sorry for you, Dylan.
Carlos leaving Chicago to come to Florida is literally the journey to go to Anne Orlando in Dark Souls 1. He has to ring both bells, go through all the bullshit, and then he finally can leave.
Honestly, man. Honestly, I don't know that reference, but I'm sure it's valid.
We'll play Dark Souls at some point with you.
Oh yeah, we need to.
I feel like it's gonna be rage-inducing and fun at the same time.
Absolutely. No, I could talk a million different times about dumb shit that's happened when we went to Europe. Like, one of the things, I forget which trip, it was maybe like the second trip to Germany that we had. My grandpa, he always had something, he always was playing some kind of trick on me because I was a child, and that's what, grandpas do. He taught me over the entirety of this trip how to identify different kinds of shit by their smell.
Yeah?
What?
Your grandpa and I sound like we would get along great.
Like, because there was so much driving on this trip that, like, so half the time.
I'm sorry, Dylan. He acknowledges like this is just Dylan after Chipotle.
Yeah.
This is Dylan after Subway.
I vividly remember many of these instances where it's like the car we're in, they roll down the windows because they're like, oh yeah, let's get the fresh air in instead of just using the AC the whole time. And then we drive by some more farmland or something, and then it's just the smell of shit and manure, and it's like, all right. And he would turn to me every time. He's like, all right, Marcus, what animal made that smell?
The Chipotle manager talking to the new hire after I used the restroom.
Oh, yeah.
What animal made that smell? The one.
All
that's
right, John,
banned.
it's your first day on the job.
Clean
Which
it up.
animal made that? In the blue hospital sign for hospital? Yeah, it's it's like a white letter with a blue background.
No.
Do you not want one?
Is it like one of those road signs that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, because they look just like that over there too. And to continue with the shit theme, he had this whole elaborate. He'd make up everything as he went. This was also all these signs he told me meant honey wagon. So the honey wagon are the shit wagons that collect all of the shit as they go by, and that's why some of these spots were still covered, is they hadn't come by yet to pick it up.
Could you imagine your job is literally just scoop up poop?
Yeah,
Could you imagine being a
street
Chipotle
sweeper
employee?
of shit?
Dude, wow. I was just gonna say, bro, people at Chipotle got their heads down right now. Like,
I have no room to talk because A, I caused that problem for Chipotle employees, and B, well, not as much as I used to, and B, I worked at Save-A-Lot, so I had to clean up people's poop a lot.
Ooh, nasty.
Y'all remember the story that I told y'all about the dude who was driving the electric cart down each aisle?
Yeah, we remember.
Yep.
That's a story for another day.
Yep. Sir.
Sir, he's like, yo, what?
Please.
You don't understand. Just listen to me, sir.
Speaking of writing things with shit.
Stop moving.
Yeah, it's poop. Poop. It has good stories with me. I don't know what it is.
No, but no. I was just gonna say the last thing I remember from that same trip where I almost killed my cousin 3 times. I remember on the farm they had this giant dog, and we all loved this dog.
His name
was like
Cujo.
a mix. No, he was a mix of like Saint Bernard and something else, where he was just massive. And it was hilarious because my grandpa is he's from Mexico, so he's slightly smaller than the rest of us. He's shorter than just about everybody.
So your grandma is from Germany and your grandpa is from Mexico. Am I getting that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Both of them are fairly short, but everyone else is taller than them, which is really funny. Like, I think maybe my aunt is the only one that's their height now. I think she's as tall as her mom.
So 2 manlets make a bunch of giants. Got it.
I wouldn't call myself a giant.
I was gonna say Marcus is not a giant.
In comparison to Derek, yes.
Yes.
Are we comparing people to Derek? Like, is that what we're gonna start?
No, I'm just.
Can we do a weekly Derek comparison? Do you guys want to start doing that?
I'm down. New segment. New segment.
Derek.
All right, guys. Sun is to moon as Derek is to alpaca. All right.
It's funny. We mentioned Derek in the Little Nightmares recording, and it was the funniest shit because it caught me off guard.
The one you guys already posted?
No. This one we just recorded before we got on the cast.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've gotta watch the latest one. I was like halfway through it, and then I got a work call. Yeah, that's my new. See, your gameplay is now going to be part of my work schedule.
It's funny,
included there.
Yeah, because Dylan was saying it's like I think Carlos is the only one who watches all of our Hollow Knight all the way through.
Because Hollow Knight's so funny. Like, you guys, I feel like that's the best. I feel like that's literally just one of the best moments. Is just first off, the second episode starts, and you're back at the guy who is definitely fucking that one guy's wife, and that's fine. But like.
For context, please watch Hollow Knight episode 2. While you're at it, feel free to watch 1, so you have context of 2.
I was gonna say no. For context, watch Hollow Knight episode 1. Laugh the whole way through. Enjoy Soft Kitty. Which I reached out to Marcus afterward and was like, dude, that was definitely a Big Bang Theory reference meant for me. And I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It was just a nice thing to toss out there.
I will say, recording and playing games like Little Nightmare and Hollow Knights is a very good balance for Marcus and I as a duo, because you have the chaos of us voice acting and not remembering a damn thing, and Marcus is just trying to fight his way through the roguelite with Hollow Knight, and we just try to have as much fun as we can. And then Little Nightmares, I'm screaming like a bitch all the way through.
That's how it was when we were playing Outlast and I was there.
Oh yeah,
yep.
Like the episode we record today embodied that 100%. I'm like trying to talk about Mass Effect or something, and Dylan's screaming as like a giant fat ass is chasing him.
Yeah, all you hear is Mario, please.
And then I'm just like, dog. So anyway, the other day,
but it's like I use this metaphor a lot. I'm a big bitch, but I can get shit done. So it's like, I may be screaming and literally pissing myself, but I will at least get us to the point where we need to progress the story.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm the worst when it comes to gameplay. See, I will scream and run around panicking. Once again, Outlast. Yeah. I'll run around panicking, screaming. My battery will die on the flashlight, and then I'll do some more screaming and then some more running around, and then I'll be like, what? Which direction was I going to go in again? Because I've been chased for the last 10 minutes, and I honestly don't know how I didn't die yet, but then right when I'm thinking about it out loud, and I'm like, how did I not die yet? And then the guy's right there, so I die. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly how that would go.
That's why I was playing the game. And while I was playing screaming. The game, I was just kind of like, where the fuck do I go? I'm like, and then like the guy, the guy comes at me. I'm like, shut the fuck up! I'm trying to figure out what to do.
Run!
Which I feel like if you were to have someone animate that, it's like Marcus is just like sitting there at the door while the big dude from Outlast is right behind you, and Carlos is just freaking out in the back, like. You just hear the Courage Like Cowardly Dog, dun 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 dun.
He like picks me up and starts running like. I'm just like, oh my.
Now that being said, once we finish Little Nightmares, I don't want to go directly into Little Nightmares 2. I kind of want to take a break from recording like a horror game and stuff, So I feel like that would be a great opportunity for like you and Carlos to play Gears or something, or Halo, or whatever you guys want to do. Because you guys have talked about it before in the cast.
Yeah, like we should all play Gears 5 once we get to it, but me and Carlos have to finish Gears 4, which we're a solid portion through.
Yeah, I honestly think we maybe... I don't remember exactly where we're at, but we're far enough that I feel like we'll... Maybe 1 or 2 gaming sessions for the amount of time we play, because we'll play for like 2-3 hours each time. We'll definitely get through it within the next 1 or 2 sessions of gaming.
Yeah,
so
and that one's like...
that'll be done and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, that one's 3-player, so we could all join in on that one.
Exactly. So it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But for now, guys, I'd say that's a great spot. We're a little bit over an hour, but I'd say that's a great spot to wrap this up. Next week, we have Dylan hosting. Dylan, do you have any idea what your topic's going to be so far?
Hell no, it's going to be Havoc. But actually, no, well, with that being said, Christmas is coming up. Or Yuletide, or Hanukkah, or whatever the hell you celebrate.
Or Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa. So
don't make it Christmas themed because it won't come out near Christmas.
Well, I mean, we just like Halloween and just like Thanksgiving.
Are you going to be here, Marcus?
No. So yeah, next week I won't be here.
Oh, okay. So it's a Dylan and Carlos podcast. Let's see how that
goes.
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
It might be just a Carlos podcast though.
Yeah, there's a chance because I might have something going on because that's gonna be Christmas Day when we record, and 50-50.
Oh, that is.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if you guys can...
I might be...
Yeah, if you guys maybe have time earlier in the week, we can all do something. Or if I'm already gone, maybe you two can do something earlier in the week.
Marcus, just take your iPad with you and just sit in a bathroom and be like, yo, I'm going to take a shit for an hour. And then you do the episode with us.
Someone knocks. Occupado!
Yeah, you just hear in the distance just like a... Occupied! So yeah. I mean, I feel like this is time for a good outro.
Hell yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, this has been Carlos. You can find me on Instagram at cm_gram1.
It's time.
No, you shut your whore mouth, Manchego.
Oh, am I too late?
Yeah, you're way too late.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I was fighting him from the bathroom the whole time. I was trying to take the mic. He just wouldn't let me.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. So, Dylan, where can they find you?
Love you too, buddy.
You can find me at Digital Fom on Instagram, Ultimate Beefy on Twitch, and Mr. Beefy on the YouTubes.
Oh,
Brief.
And Marcus, where can they find you and not Manchego?
Yeah. So me and my good friend here, I am working right now.
The baked potato.
Yeah, I'm working right now.
What was that?
I don't know. Oh shit. My Instagram is up right now. I'm Mark and Cheese. I think it's Mark_N_Cheese on Instagram. I post memes every so often. If I am working on something like a funny thumbnail, I'll post that. Otherwise, I'm here. I'm also going to start streaming again on Twitch soon. I'm planning on getting back to Mass Effect. And I've got some videos already in the work for my YouTube channel again, which is again Mark N Cheese. So look forward to that. I'm going to be playing Scarlet Nexus. So it's really fun.
I have considered starting my own YouTube channel, just getting that up and running, because I've had it and I've been wanting to post to it for so long. So,
let me know if you need help with assets or anything.
Pretty soon, yeah, for sure. Pretty soon I'll be thinking about, because I was thinking about doing the, since me and Dylan have been talking so much about 2 out of 3, which would be a wrestling podcast, I've thought about creating wrestling videos, because me and Dylan are always talking about top 10 lists, top 5s, just everything wrestling. So,
yeah.
I've thought about making my own wrestling YouTube channel.
Do it.
So I think that I might be doing that soon. So keep an ear out for that one. And I'll give you an update soon.
Yeah, my channel is mainly just an excuse for me to finish games that I haven't finished.
I just have a channel.
Honestly, it's good to have a goal, right?
Right.
So. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this week. We'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Or whenever we come back.
Goodbye. Stay hydrated.
Goodbye.
Drink milk.
Health is wealth, guys.
penis.